Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm back here with another video. Today we have a very long-awaited video that I've been wanting to do for a while now, but I had to wait until the end of the year because I had to wait on our final trip. It's my top 15 coasters, end of 2021 edition. I think I did one this year already, but I think since then I've hit Hershey Park and I've also done Dollywood, what we just got back from yesterday. The first vlog should be coming out sometime in the next few days. Depends on how everything happens. Don't know when the second day and third day are gonna come out, but I know the first day will probably be out in the next few days. But I'm here with my top 15 roller coasters. Probably been a long-awaited video. I've actually upped it from 10 to 15 now. But let's start off with honorable mentions. My first honorable mention will be Ravine Flyer 2. Well, this honestly might be in my top 15, but considering I haven't got to ride it in like a good 3 years or so, I just can't really put it on this list because I don't really remember the ride experience that much. Other than it, I remember it being actually pretty good. Once I get more rides on it, it might be able to move into my top 15, but until then, I just can't put it up there. And then I also got a coaster that I just rode these past few days at Dollywood when we went. That's Thunderhead. Thunderhead was honestly a very good GCI. It has really good airtime, but it's just right below what I want. It's a bit rough. That's the only problem. There's some spots that it'll give you a bad headache. This ride, I'm not saying it's bad. Back row is very good. It has some very, very good airtime. But with that roughness, I don't know. I can deal with rough. But it's just not the best of the best. But let's actually start off the official list of the top 15. Coming in at 15 is Fire Chaser Express at Dollywood, but I also just rode. This ride is honestly really, really fun, not gonna lie. I don't know, was really fun. You have the backward launches, very, very good. I wish Cedar Point had like a family coaster like this. Backward launches, forward launches, and everything, but overall, it's very, very fun. It has actually some decent airtime, not like crazy ejector airtime like some of the coasters coming up on this list. But there's not very much I could say other than it's very, very good and clearly in the top tier of family coasters. But coming in at number 14 is Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. That's a handful to say, I know. But this ride, we rode it back at the spring, and it's honestly not too bad. Not gonna lie, it has some great theming. Also, Fire Chaser Express does. But Universal always goes above and beyond. I think it's actually the most expensive coaster ever built to date, as we know of. I think it costs like $300 million, what is absolutely crazy. But this ride is very, very good. With terms of family, it's between a family and a thrill coaster, but it has the drop tracks, the launches, has even the spike that makes you go backwards into the drop track, and it has so many launches and everything. This ride is very, very good. Unfortunately, I didn't get to ride the bike seat because it just didn't get to happen, but I hope to get back down and ride this ride when we go back down to Florida, whatever that is. And if I go back to Universal, this will definitely be one of the rides that I want to get back on. But coming in at number 13 is another ride that's also in Florida. Not only in Florida, it's also in Orlando, Florida. Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. This B&M Floorless was honestly very, very good. It's also getting a repaint this year, so sort of excited. It looks honestly pretty cool. I think it's better than Rougarou in my opinion. I think it's better. I think Rougarou's starting to age a bit, and yeah, but I think it's better than Rougarou. It's very good. It's not like glossy smooth or anything. I don't know how old it is, but it's not the newest. I know that. That's all I could really say about this. But coming in at number 12 is At My Home Park, the first coaster at my home park that is on this list. It is Raptor at Cedar Point. I absolutely love this ride. This ride is intense. It's a whippy. You're going through inversion after inversion. I believe at the first Cobra roll ever on a roller coaster, but it's on the taller side of B&M inverts and everything, and nothing more I could say except I love this ride. Got last ride of the night on it this year, and they actually let me ride 2 times in a row, what was very, very fun. And I've had a bunch of good experience. I've had a bunch of bad experiences on this, but it's all right overall. Coming in at number 11, though, is Storm Runner at Hershey Park. This is a ride that I just got to ride for the first time this year when we went to Kennywood and, Hershey Park and everything. But this ride is very, very good. It's intense launch, not like, I think it goes the same speed as Maverick, except this is probably even a little bit more intense, except it doesn't have as much as the layout as Maverick. It's an Altimeter accelerator, so it uses a hydraulic launch system. So it's very fun, very whippy. Honestly, did not expect it to be as tense as it did. As soon as you get over that top hat, you're whipping through all these inversions and everything. But very, very surprised sort of about this coaster. I knew something there. Probably Storm Runner Fahrenheit was good. Probably my top coasters. And this is just out of my top 10 at number 11. But now let's get into my top 10. Coming in at number 10 is Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa. This ride, I've heard a lot of hype about it. I think it's a bit overrated. I don't think it's as good as everybody says, but it's still very, very good. Don't get me wrong on that. It has the intensity. It has everything I really want and what I asked for, other than a bit of airtime. But not every ride has airtime. This ride focuses on intensity and the inversions. Overall, this ride looks very good too, with a double corkscrew. And very good ride overall, and I would definitely recommend it if you ever come down to Florida, and especially Busch Gardens Tampa, because I want to get back down there. I didn't get on a bunch of rides. But coming in at number 9 is also at Busch Gardens Tampa. That's Montu. This B&M invert is whippy. It whips through its whole layout. Trust me, it's very, very good. Definitely, I think it's better than Raptor, even what most people agree with me. This ride has a bat wing and everything, what is very good and everything. I like the color scheme. I think it's like a Egyptian theme or something, but has a bit of theming like everything at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. But overall, it's not too bad, and I would definitely recommend it if you go to Busch Gardens Tampa as well as Kumba. But coming in at number 8 is Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. This is definitely, out of the two B&M hypers I've ridden, this is definitely the best one. Not the best standard hyper coaster I've ridden, what the next one comes up next on this list. Honestly, very, very smooth, as you'd expect from a newer B&M. Has clamshells. Clamshells are very, very comfortable. And I love the color scheme on this, and the station, everything is very, very cool. I don't know what more to say. It's very, very fun, and you're lucky if you have it at your home park, because it's a B&M hyper, and probably one of the best ones from what I've heard of people that have ridden all of them. Coming in at number 7 is another hyper, not a B&M hyper though. It's a Magnum XL 200. This ride has really grown on me this past year. I went from not really loving this ride to absolutely loving this ride. I think I rode it more than anything else this season, actually. This ride delivers straight airtime, and it will throw you out of your seat. I swear that is trying to eject you out of your seat. But yeah, it was the first hyper coaster, and definitely one of the best ones out there. I don't know what more to say about it. I don't like row 3 like everybody else say, the magic seat. Definitely third to back, so front of the back car is definitely the way to go. Row 16, best seat on the ride, no doubt. I know a few people agree with me. Row 15 is definitely the best row, and the only row that really is not painful. But right before we get into number 7 or their top 5, coming in at number 6 is Top Thrill Dragster. A lot of people rank this coaster high up. I don't get how though, because it's so short. It might pack all the intensity that you want and the speed and the height. But with it being so short, I don't get how you can do that. Offer overall ride experience, not gonna be crazy high, even though it is sort of high, but it can't be number 1. I just can't see it like that just because of how short it is. Yes, it is very, very good for what it does, but it's definitely not as good as some of the other rides as we get into our top 5. But coming in at number 5, this is also another hyper, somewhat, is Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood. This ride, I'm telling you, wants to kill you. This ride literally tries to eject you out of your seat every single time you ride. The first lift hill is not the max height, though. You drop into the valley under Thunderbolt, and that's the biggest drop on the ride. I think you reach like 80-something miles per hour. But since Morgan came in, has revamped the whole ride and took out all the inversions, everything. This ride is absolutely incredible. Rode it, I think, 3 times when I was at Kennywood last, and trust me, this ride is definitely something you gotta ride if you ever go to Kennywood. It's the best ride in the park, I think, and I think all you guys would probably like it too. That's why it's number 5, and we're gonna bring in top 4. Coming in at number 4 is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. This ride is definitely one of the best rides in the world. I think it's honestly even getting a bit underrated, how much people say it's overrated. This ride is so good. It hauls through its layout. It may not have the crazy intensities, but I almost always gray out at the bottom of that first drop. This ride is definitely a front and back seat ride. I don't really know. Front and back are still both. I think this ride honestly might be front row, though. A lot of people say that, though, too. But back row, if you can get back row is just as good. If you get what I'm saying here, this ride's absolutely incredible. And if you get to Cedar Point, this is one of the must rides you gotta ride. This is actually my former number 1 coming up here at number 3. My former number 1, as if you've been on this channel long enough, because as my original top 10, I even said it. It is Maverick at Cedar Point coming in at number 3. This ride is still absolutely incredible. I absolutely love this ride. It'll always be special to me. With the launch lift hill, the second launch out of the tunnel, the airtime this thing delivers, even though it may not be like a bunch, it delivers straight ejector airtime. And this ride is all about intensity, whippy transitions, and everything you would ever want in a coaster. Honestly, it may not have the height, it may not have the top speeds that you might get. It didn't really break any records, but this proved to the industry that you don't need to break the height record, the speed record, and everything to have one of the best coasters on the planet. And this ride is definitely one of the greatest on the planet, no doubt. But this is actually a new addition to this top 5. Coming in at number 2 is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. After I got back from this trip, I was still contemplating if this is number 1. And I still don't know yet until I honestly probably get more rides on it. I never rode it when it was all wood, and I never rode it when it had the launch all the way up to the top where you got absolutely whipped. One of the employees even told me that they was juiced up so much that it was going like 85 at some times. Considering it's advertised at 73, if it's going 85, this ride would have been hauling. I mean, absolutely hauling through its layout. I wish I got to experience, honestly, though. It seemed like I couldn't imagine this ride going over 80 miles per hour through its layout. It's already hauling at nighttime. I don't know how fast it's going. Even if it's going 73, this thing is hauling through its layout. And don't just imagine that going 10 miles per hour faster. I couldn't imagine how good this ride would be. This ride is definitely one of the greatest on the planet. And the quad down definitely is not underrated. This thing throws you around every which way. I'm not going to say it's the smoothest ride, but the iBox track is definitely glossy smooth, but some of the wood sections definitely could be a bit smoother. But as soon as you hit that iBox track down the quad down, it's absolutely incredible. Definitely a must ride if it's open when you go to Dollywood. I got 17 rides over it with the time saver over the 3 days that we were there, and I cannot get enough of this ride. Honestly, something I wish I had at my home park at Cedar Point, but unfortunately you can't have everything. But it's the long awaited. This should not come as a surprise, considering my number 1 was not on this list at all yet. Coming in at number 1 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. This ride definitely it's really very good. It does everything I want. It has intensity, it has airtime, straight ejector airtime. This ride is all airtime. Every turn you make, you're out of your seat for 27.2 seconds, I think, what's absolutely crazy. it's not like Lightning Rod that still focuses almost all airtime, but this ride whips you around like nothing except for like Maverick maybe. This ride tosses you every which way, throws you up in the air, and with that 200-foot vertical drop, I couldn't ask for a better coaster really at my home park. But I think that probably actually really tops the list here. I'm saying every ride on this list you probably want to go out and ride. They're all very, very good rides to make this list. I want to get back to Dollywood. I want to get back to all the parks, but you can't do everything. I'm hoping to ride a lot more next year and update this list with a lot of new coasters and everything. But everything on here, you got to get out and ride. They're all incredible rides, and I enjoy them all. I would ride coasters all day if I could. I honestly don't know, though, because I would probably get bored of them eventually, not going to lie. That's all you do all day. But I don't know what else to say. I would appreciate if you'd like the video. Press that subscribe button and turn your post notifications on and press all if you like the content that I'm doing. Do coasters reviews, coverage in the industry, and just everything like that. But this year has been absolutely amazing, and tonight being the last day of the year, I hope 2022 it was just as good as this year, as my channel has grown quite a bit in this past year. And with my Instagram really growing now, if you want to, it's Coaster Coverage down on Instagram. But this year's been absolutely amazing, and this was my top 15 coasters of the 2020 at the end of 2021. So I don't think I have anything else to say, but I'll see you on the next one. So peace.